Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, The Stone Mandalorian. I am the Stone Mandor. You can call me Cody, whichever you prefer. And today I got a really sick review for y'all here today. This is one of my favorite dinosaurs, and this is the Carnotaurus. And this is actually a pretty cool and special figure in my collection because this actually, I bought this off of Justin from Out of the Basement. He hooked me up with a really reasonable price for this figure. This one has started to climb on the aftermarket. It's getting up there like 60, 70. I've seen it go up as far as 80 bucks on eBay and Amazon and stuff like that. And he gave it to me for basically retail and then obviously a little bit for shipping. Like, just really hooked me up. So shout out to Justin for Out of the Basement. Appreciate you very much, man. And he also sent me this sticker too. So pretty awesome, man. Very kind. Thank you very much. And I look forward to being on. That won't be on their stream, their Lazy Sunday live stream this coming Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. I'm super excited for that. These guys are the reason I even started my channel. So it's just like a really cool full circle moment for me. But anyway, let's get on into this review. I did buy this loose off of him, and so obviously I don't have the packaging, but I will put a little picture of it right here or something, or like just, show y'all what the packaging looks like and all that cool stuff, because the Hammond collection does have some really neat packaging. I gotta admit that. But just looking at this thing, I might even have to move size because this thing is just a decent size, just to show y'all the articulation. Tell you what, this is how we're gonna do it. We're just gonna start from the feet down. So right here you can see we have your typical theropod feet, three toes. There's articulation here at the ankle, at the very bottom of the foot. There's also some swivel as well. There's also another hinge here above the ankle or above the foot. A lot of articulation in that as well. Another hinge here at the knee. Get a lot of pretty decent range out of it as well. And then there is some little bit of sway, kind of like widen it out, kind of help the stance and the balance of the figure. A little bit of hip swivel, and then obviously there's some ratchet joints in the legs as well. Getting up to the arms, we do have two little single hinges, not too much. Carnotauruses do have small arms, and then we have a shoulder hinge right here. Let me get this in focus real quick for y'all. Do have a shoulder hinge, you can get up about that far, so about to pretty much get his arms straight out beside himself. Those little Carno hands. But as far as articulation, that's pretty much it. Then getting down the tail, there is a ball joint here, so you can get a lot of rotation up and down, no problem. And then this is one of the earlier Hammond collection releases. I believe the first one was the Baryonyx and the Parasaurolophus, but there is a cut. Now for most of the Hammond collections, they've made this all one rubber wire tail, but this one does have a cut in it. It's not a huge deal. It's one of the earlier Hammond releases, so they just weren't doing that solid piece, but it doesn't look bad at all. But there is another ball joint here, and then this is all rubber and wire, so you can bend this and pose it how you want to. So there's the articulation. But getting down to the actual paint on this thing, I love the red and black on this, and just the glass eyes I'm a huge fan of. I know some of the early, not even early, honestly, a lot of the Hammond collection ones. I have a couple good ones with a really decent glass eye with the pupil, but Hammond collection is very well known to have the pupils not sitting their eyes the right way. Look at this beautiful sculpt, though, man. You can't deny that. See if I can. You can kind of see the pupil when it catches the light right. See, when you're looking at it like this, that's beautiful. Look at that right there, man. All the texture of the scales and the osteoderms on its head, the horns. Beautiful, man. But like I said, you can see the pupil there. I was trying to get it to catch the light the right way, but then as soon as you turn it, it kind of gets lost. And it's the same thing with the other side as well. You can kind of see it from a certain angle, and then it just kind of disappears. But very minor nitpick, you know. Overall, I really like the glass eye. The fact that they're doing that adds a sense of realism to it, makes it look more lifelike. I mean, just the folds and the texture on the skin is really nice. You got these nice osteoderms and spikes, little scales looking, goes all the way down to the tail. Really sick sculpting on this thing, man. Then just on the underbelly, it goes from the red to this kind of like tannish white all the way up to underneath the chin. Love this red and black color scheme on this thing, man. I almost looked over the articulation of the head, so let's go ahead and look at that. We'll get this focused in for y'all again. Sorry, I'm not used to reviewing such big figures. This thing is pretty decent. It's not the biggest Hammond collection, but it's a good size. But you can get a lot of rotation at the neck here. Not a whole lot of side to side, but get a lot. Got a nice hinge right here that you can get off of. Then there's another hinge here that you can get some little bit of range here and there. And then with the mouth, with the jaw on the pull this back up with the jaw on the Carnotaurus, it kind of opens up together. You can't really open the top or bottom separate. It kind of opens up together, but you can get about that wide, and it just shuts beautifully. Look at that head on. It's just really nice, really well done sculpt, man. From what I understand, Hasbro's always done a good job with their Carnotauruses, but this Hammond collection is just another level. The detail on the skin is just unreal, man. Look at the wrinkles and the folds on the underneath the side of the belly here, and then just the color. It's so sick, man. Beautiful, beautiful sculpting. And one more look at the inside of the mouth. I didn't really get to look at that, but all the teeth, it's softer rubber. They're all individually sculpted, so they look very nice. There is like a glossy paint on the tongue, as you can see. I'm trying to get this. Yo, this is a big. I'm not used to reviewing such big figures, man. This thing's huge. But there's a nice glossiness on the inside of the mouth here, on the gums. Yeah, man, just a absolutely amazing and wicked looking animal, dude. Badass. Starting off with side by side comparisons here, standing in the middle is the Hammond Collection Pachycephalosaurus, and then here on the far right is the Tiger Stripe Amber Collection Lost World Velociraptor. And just for funsies, here in the middle is the Beast of the Mesozoic Velociraptor mongoliensis, a phenomenal line and sculpting and paint on this figure in the middle. And then here on the far right is the Mattel mainline Stegosaurus, very cool figure. And standing now here in the middle is the Dino Tracker's Habitat Defender Mattel mainline Triceratops. This is a really accurate representation for the Triceratops. They are very big creatures, like as big as an African elephant, and that's very huge, huge animal, biggest elephant on planet Earth. And then here on the far right is the cute, adorable, badass from the Hammond Collection Juvenile Triceratops. I love this figure so freaking much, man. And here we are for these side by side comparisons. Last off, I want to save the big dinosaurs for last. But here, of course, is the Carnotaurus. Here's the Therizinosaurus and the Allosaurus. And mind you, I do have the Allosaurus kind of in a crouch position, so but just keep that in mind. But these look awesome next to each other, man. You know, when I do these dinosaur reviews, I always gotta end it with a couple cool facts, man. This is actually a species that I don't really know, or I should say, I didn't know a whole lot about. So, like I always say, it's one of the fun parts about getting into a new line or discovering something new is the research going into it. When you find that new passion for something, which, like I said on the channel before, I've loved dinosaurs since I was a kid. But my buddy Connor Colarusso, check his channel out. He kind of helped rekindle that love I had for dinosaurs growing up. But these guys, there's actually only one known skeleton to exist of this guy, and he was found sometime in the early 1980s, like 84 or something like that. And he was found by an Argentinian paleontologist. Just the only one ever found like this, and he is also the first, and I believe, Connor, if you're watching this, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, man. But from what I was reading a little bit, this is the only theropod that we have skin impressions of, if I'm not mistaken. I could be waffling with that. I'm not sure. And something that's interesting, a lot of the times, even with T Rexes, everybody always makes fun of their little arms. Those are what you call vestigial, and that's basically like it's basically a trait that, as evolution has gone on, it's something that we've kept, but it has no longer has uses it had the ancestral function that it was intended for. Like for humans, you could basically say like our tailbone, because we have a tailbone, we don't have a tail, or even like some people would even argue like an appendix could be vestigial, because like at one point in time we thought it was to help us digest raw meat, yada yada. Okay, I'm getting off track now, but anyways, another cool thing is that the name Carnotaurus is actually derived from Latin roots or whatever, and I don't know the actual like root per se from the names. I would assume it's like Carno, and then Taurus is obviously bull, but Carno means meat as well, or flesh. I should say flesh meat, but basically it transferred to as meat eating bull. So if that's not a perfect representation of what the Carnotaurus is, I don't know what is. And this is also another. There is the Ceratatosaurus, I believe it's pronounced, but it has the horn on the front of the nose. This is the only theropod to have horns, two horns on the crest of its face. So they don't know if that was used for mating to attract mates, or for to use for ramming in fights and to protect their eyes, and also for physical fights and stuff like that. So obviously it's all speculation. And something else that's cool is that speculation that I was reading as well, is that their jaw could slightly stretch or disconnect like a snake. So pretty interesting. And there was also, I was reading something interesting, that for a long time they thought the bite force wasn't that strong, but it was, they had really quick, accurate bites, so they were meant for like hunting smaller prey. But now it's kind of speculated that they were also able to take down larger prey as well, because their bite was about twice as strong as an American alligator. And if you don't know, American alligators got one of the strongest bite forces of all living things currently on this planet. Crocodiles and alligators are no joke, man. So if this thing had twice the power of an alligator's bite, that's a pretty strong bite. Obviously, it's nowhere near the Tyrannosaurus bite jaw force, which I can't remember right now. My buddy Connor will probably drop it down in the comments. Connor, if you're watching this, feel free to educate me and elaborate, bro. But I want to say that the Tyrannosaurus has one of the strongest bite forces of all time. So this is obviously, the Carno is nowhere near. This is a decent size, medium sized theropod, I guess you would say, but I'd say about a third of the size, maybe half the size of a full grown Tyrannosaurus Rex. But man, I'm so happy to have this thing, dude. I love this sculpt. I love the paint on it. It's somewhat limited in the neck articulation, being able to move side to side and being able to turn the head. But this was one of the earlier releases of the Hammond collection, and besides that, that's a very minor nitpick. I love this figure so much, man. So just want to shout out to Justin and Nate, of course, but shout out to Justin for hooking me up with this Carnotaurus, man. It was getting priced on the aftermarket, and he hooked me up with a really fair price. That's what I was comfortable to pay with it. And then, like I said earlier in the review, sent me this sticker. Super kind gesture. So super excited to be on their live stream this Sunday. Y'all please check it out and show up and show some love to us and me in chat. Like I said earlier in the review, this is a full circle moment for me. It's so cool. I'm really excited to talk to these guys, Nate and Justin, face to face, one on one, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Looking forward to it. So I just want to say thank you to all of you who have watched, liked, and commented on my channel, subscribed, and it just means so much to me, man. And it is y'all who have. I started this channel for fun, and y'all made it. Y'all put me into a position where I've gotten into a spot to have an opportunity like this, where I've been approached by well-known and credited cool people like Justin and Nate from Out of the Basement to be on one of their live streams. I mean, it's just a huge honor, it's such a pleasure, man. But before I keep rambling on, I do appreciate y'all checking out this review. Another dinosaur review. This is the not the first one. It's not the last one. I'll tell you that. So, but I had to get back to some Star Wars reviews. But here is my Carnotaurus. I am super happy to have him. Justin, if you happen to watch this, I know you might not see this, but even if you don't, man, thank you so much for this. I already talked to you on Discord in the Out of the Basement server, but yeah, I appreciate all of you so much for taking a few minutes to hang out with me to check this out. Love this figure so much, man. I cannot wait to get this on the shelf in my little park with the rest of my dinos. But I hope you're all having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Y'all take it easy. See y'all next time.